Members, we're waiting for McClendon.
HB 1.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. It is my pleasure to lay out this little bill. This is House Bill 166, the Timothy Cole Exoneration Review Commission. Texas has been showcased as the #1 state in the nation for wrongful convictions.
No money involved at all?
None.
We are putting people in prison for crimes they did not commit.
I didn't want to interrupt her.
This is a shame. Each conviction of an innocent person reveals a tragic failure in the justice system. And each wrongful conviction causes irreparable harm to that individual and to their loved ones. Today, however, I want you to envision a future Texas. A Texas that where a criminal is not at large, free to commit some crimes because an innocent person was convicted for that crime and sitting in prison, in a prison cell for decades for a crime that he or she did not commit.
Ms. Speaker,
For what purpose, Mr. Toth?
will the gentlewoman yield?
Will the gentlelady yield? Question. The lady yields.
Representative McClendon, does this give this commission the ability to go on any kind of fishing expedition for people that have...
Sorry. Members, if we could have some order in the House so that Ms. McClendon may hear the questions from the back mic. Please take your conversations outside the rail.
Representative McClendon, does this give the commission, it doesn't give them any kind of license to go on any kind of fishing expedition, does it, on current convictions?
Absolutely not. The bill is very closely put together. We worked on this bill for a couple of years, and this is a slightly different bill than from last session, but it's basically it's the exoneration bill that protects your child and my child from having to go to prison for a crime they didn't commit. And we hope that this commission will be able to look into those exonerated cases. That's cases that have been closed.
This only applies to exonerated cases where someone has been found not guilty.
It only applies to exonerated cases. When a person has been exonerated and has been released from prison.
Do we have any idea as to the amount of money the state of Texas has spent incarcerating people that were falsely accused? I think of the 13 young men that were on the dais week 1 of the 83rd legislative session. Some of them have spent 20-plus years in jail for crimes they did not commit. Do we have any idea of the impact, the financial impact on the state of Texas?
Yes,
if we could find out why this is happening.
Well, I can tell you that based on from the comptroller's estimate, 60 million 775.94 million to date in lump sum payments have had to be paid to those people who were placed in prison for crimes they did not commit and were later exonerated. And this is based on a $80,000 per year of time sacrificed without justification. So we're talking about 61 million.
One last question. For the 13 folks that were on the dais week one, did any of them get an explanation as to why they were sent to jail wrongfully? Have any of them been given a reason as to why or what went wrong in their case?
No, that's the problem. That's the problem. These men and women were sent to prison, convicted, and sent to prison and allowed to stay in prison. And I had to say it, rot in prison was that intention until the DNA came about and we were able to give that relief to the prisoners and let them out. But that's just only a certain number of prisoners. There are others who are rotten in prison because they have been convicted of crimes that they did not commit.
Thank you very much. I think of one last thing, and that is something that Jesus said. He said, love mercy and do justly. And this bill does that. Thank you for bringing it.
Thank you.
Slavenberg, for what purpose?
Oh, will the gentlelady yield?
Yes, I yield.
Representative McClendon, can you verify this bill does not lead up to abolishing the death penalty?
Absolutely not. This bill has absolutely nothing to do with abolishing the death penalty.
For those who actually should.
This is about persons who have served time in prison for crimes that they never, ever committed.
Thank you so much, and it's a good bill.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Keffer, for what? Lady yield.
Yes, sir.
Lady yields. You've got a great array of the political spectrum down there with you, so that is very good that you've been able to get it all together. One question that has been asked of me to ask you on this commission that we are setting up, the financial aspect of that commission, the support of that, is that something that the state, is that a fiscal note to the state? How is that financially going to work?
There is no fiscal note to the state. There are agencies outside the complex that are willing to support the works of this commission. The commission will have the ability to get gifts to support itself, and there was no fiscal note. Taxpayers have to pay no money.
All right. Thank you very much.